Look at this beautiful okra. Just a small little plot. Let's talk about okra a little bit. Hey, it's Elise. I'm glad you stopped by. Okra is my very favorite dish. Fried okra. Good fried okra. Let me put that in there. Honestly, I do not like boiled okra. I eat it. It's not bad, but a good fried okra is my best. So I wanted to take just a few moments to share some things with you about okra and maybe dispel a couple of little myths. First off, you do not need acres of land to grow a little okra. There's 5 little plants in this little bitty plot. Now, we're not growing enough to freeze or to can, to put up, but the family wanted to see how okra grew. So we have 5 healthy little plants in here. My daughter-in-law just stopped in at one of the box stores, picked up 1 little pack of seedlings. And they really looked pathetic. They were so skinny that if you breathed on them, they would fall over, and they had 1 or 2 leaves on top. But we planted them, cleaned out a little spot, planted them, and now they're doing fantastic. And we've already harvested some okra. So you don't need a big piece of land. You actually can put okra in your garden beds with your flowers. Okra is in the Malvaceae family. Same family as cotton and hollyhocks and cocoa, other plants. Beautiful plant, grow as ornamental. And look at this flower. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at a pot of okra I'll be harvesting in just a few minutes. Okay, so first, you don't need a big plot of land. You don't need land at all. You can grow okra very successfully in containers. I've done it many, many, many years. The botanists really aren't sure where okra originated. Somewhere hot, because okra is a hot-loving plant. Now, back in the 1700s, it was being grown in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, USA. So that dispels the myth that you can only grow okra in the South in the U.S. Actually, okra is grown all over the world, anywhere they have 3 to 4 months of warm weather. It's called okra, okra, ladyfingers, lots of different names. The whole plant is edible. You can eat the leaves, the stems, the blossoms, the buds, and of course the okra itself. Very, very nutritious. There's lots of countries that are now growing okra to help with malnutrition and help with starvation. It grows fast, it produces fast. And look at the size of these leaves. Neat. Look at all the little buds. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 buds. That's some okra coming. Look over here. We've got a flower open and more buds, okra. Okay, let's talk about the flowering process and fruiting process. Yes, botanically, okra is a fruit. So you get a flower. Now, this is a perfect flower. It is self-pollinated. After it self-pollinates and dies off, the ovum down here is going to start swelling, and it's going to start producing your okra pod. So if you see the flower and you think, oh, how pretty, don't pick it. If you pick that flower off, you aren't going to get any okra. And I'm only putting that in because I had a neighbor who used to do that. She would go out and pick out all the blossoms and then wonder why she didn't get any fruit or produce, Beautiful plant, easy to grow. 3 to 4 months of hot weather, well-draining soil and sun. They have some varieties now, and one of them is called jambalaya, that can actually start producing pods in as little as 50 days. So if you live in colder weather, start your seeds off 4 to 6 weeks before your anticipated last frost date, and then you can put them out or grow them in a hothouse. You can grow them very well in containers. I've done that quite often. But we just put these out here. We wanted the family to see how okra grew and get a few pods of fresh okra. So how do you use okra? If you do a little research, you're going to be absolutely amazed at how okra is used across the world in so many cuisines. In the south of the United States, it's mostly known as fried okra, stewed okra, boiled okra, or maybe put in soups and stews, tomatoes and onions, things like that. But you can ferment it, you can can it, you can pickle it, you can eat it raw, stir fries, everything that you can think of. And again, spend a little bit of time looking at recipes from other countries. Some of them sound fantastic. Really neat, very nutritious. Loads of other benefits. There's an oil that they press from okra. Okra is also being used in biodiesel applications. Okra also makes a fiber called bast, B-A-S-T. Really, loads of uses for okra. Easy to grow. All right, now, we put this in just a little patch. And again, this is to show you that you can grow something like okra in little patch. I certainly wouldn't put them any closer than these are. You can get okra that's about 2 feet tall up to 6 or 7 feet tall. Well-draining soil. They like heat, they like sun, they like moisture, but they are drought tolerant once the okra is established. Neat. Look at all those buds. Wow. Once it starts setting the pods, it grows pretty fast, so keep an eye on it. You don't want your pods to get too big and too hard because they will get woody, and then they're not that great to eat. So, don't think you need a big place of land. Don't think you have to be in the south somewhere. You can grow it all over the world if you have 3 or 4 months of warm weather. Very nutritious. If you've tried okra one time and you didn't care for it, you might give it another try. It may have been the variety or the way it was prepared. Usually it's the way it was prepared that turns people off. I don't like boiled okra. I eat it. I don't mind it in some soups or stews. The gel in okra is what most people don't care for. But that gel has loads of flavor. It's very nutritious. It actually can act as a thickener for your soups and stews, and you get another level of taste. I love the taste of fresh okra. My personal is good fried okra, and I say it, good fried okra, because all fried okras are not created equal. Loads of uses, easy to grow. Think about it, folks. It is fantastic to grow so that you can see the process. And I'll have to share this. I really sat back and kind of smiled at the family when they were so excited about the first pods of okra, that they grew this okra in their backyard. Neat, huh? Kids love watching plants grow. And if they grow their own plants, it will sometimes entice them to eat more. All right, so these are in a sunny place. I'm going to start feeding them about every 2 weeks with some natural homemade fertilizers because they're in the real process of fruiting and budding, so I want to keep them well nourished. All right, don't let your pods get too big, like I said. Now, a couple of ways you can get your pods off. Do not jerk. Do not try to force it off because they're very stiff and you'll break your main stem. If you break your main stem, you've messed your plant up. So just come in here with a little knife or a pair of clippers. My dad had this little pocket knife. He would come in here and go, psh. He'd slice this off and he would slice this leaf off. This joint is not going to produce any more okra. This leaf is only sapping nutrition and it's going to die anyway. Go ahead, cut it off. Don't let them get too big. Don't let them get too hard. If you've never had fresh okra, world of difference from what you get in the grocery store that may have been laying around for a week or more. There are some brands in our area here in Zone 9B or 10A that a frozen frozen okra that is pretty good, and I quite often use that to make fried okra with. And speaking of, I'm getting really hungry now for some fried okra. So, little bit of information, and again, it's not just a southern plant. It was growing in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, USA, back in the middle 1700s. Thomas Jefferson grew it at his farms in the late 1800s in Virginia. Many, many uses, many, many recipes, very nutritious. Oh, one more thing. Back in the mid-1800s, there was a coffee shortage. And folks who had access to large acreage of okra found that if they let the pods dry completely on the plant, harvest the seeds, grind the seeds up, they could make a palatable coffee substitute. Let's talk about propagation just a second. Seeds is the best. Although supposedly you can do some cuttings. And I tried it one time. I didn't have any luck. I've never tried it but one time because seeds are so easy. All you do is you let the pod stay on the plant until it turns brown. And it can get 6, 7, 8 feet, inches long. And what it's going to do, these little ridges, it's all going to turn brown. These little ridges will start splitting open. That's when you want to go ahead and harvest your seeds. If you let it dry on the plant like that, you won't even have to wash it. Harvest your seeds, lay them out, let them dry another week or two. You can plant if you wish, or you can go ahead and store if you wish. Just make sure they are extremely dry. So that's it. See how easy? Now, you can go and grow your own okra and share with your family the delights of growing it. Or if you're a small family or a single person, that's just more okra for you. I hope you've enjoyed learning a little bit about okra. Please like, share, subscribe, tell all your friends about the channel. Make sure you watch the videos in their entirety. YouTube tracks that. All right, till we meet again, I think I'll go make some fried okra. Have a fantastic day.